Alright, so here's our first chord. We got our pinky finger here, ring finger here on the B string on 3rd fret, our middle finger on the low E string on the 3rd fret, and our index finger on the 2nd fret on the A string. And that's our G. Alright, now let's review C. Okay? Now for C, we put our ring finger here on the 3rd fret on the A string. We put our middle finger on the D string on the 2nd fret. And we kind of stretch our first finger out here on the 1st fret on the B string. And then we leave open this high E and this G. And now for C, remember we do not play this low E string. So there's C. And now let's take a look at D. Now D is pretty easy to remember because it actually kind of looks like a D. So you put our index finger here on the 2nd fret on the G string. Then we put our middle finger here on the high E string on the 2nd fret. Then we put our ring finger here on the B string on the 3rd fret. And then for D, we make sure we only play from the D string down. And then all together we get pretty simple. Alright, so now we're going to view all the E's on the neck, and this will be part of our G major pentatonic scale that we're going to eventually put all together. The first step is just learning where these notes are. So our first E is right here, our open E string, right? And then if we go 12 frets higher, that's the octave, and then that's E as well. So we have, now let's go to the next string. Now we have an E here, the 7th fret. So all together, those three together, we have, right? Not so bad. Let's add another one. Now we could go up a lot higher, 12 more frets to get the octave. Can't really do that on this guitar. That's okay. So let's keep going. So we have E, E on the 12th fret on the low E string, 7th fret on the A string. Then we also have 2nd fret on the D string. So we have E, 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 E. And it helps to say the name of the note out loud. So in your mind, you kind of designate this spot on the neck as that note. And that'll come in handy as we learn to read and write music. So we have E, 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 E. Then we go down to the G string and we have E right here on the 9th fret. So we have E, 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 okay? Then we have E here on the 5th fret. So all together we have E, 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 E. And those last two are pretty simple because if we think about it, it's just you have your open E string and then 12 frets higher. It's just like your low E string. See? Okay, now this is just a finger exercise in order to practice playing notes in what we call a legato kind of style. So it just means that the notes kind of run into one another. So we don't have this kind of, that would be what's called staccato. So we want legato, which would be, and you can kind of hear how all the notes blend together and they go one right after the other. So for this exercise, and it can take a little getting used to, but the trick is repetition. We'll go down all 6 strings and we're going to have a finger for every fret, okay? So 1st fret, 2nd fret, 3rd fret, 4th fret. All right, so we have 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4. And we just do that again, and we keep doing that until we get our fingers used to playing a note, and then putting our finger down, playing the next note, and letting that note ring until, and you can notice that when I play this note and I go to my next one, I don't take my other finger off until after I get that next finger planted. Alright? And we do it the rest of the way. And we also want to try doing it backwards too. And remember, this is just for muscle memory and how to get your fingers used to moving on the fretboard. But let's try it backwards. All right, I'll do it one more time. And you can just keep watching my fingers and you'll see how that kind of works. All right, so now we're going to take a look at where to find our G's on our guitar, okay? Now the cool thing is we already know where all our E's are, right? We went through that exercise, E, etc. Okay? I actually didn't hit E there, so ignore that one. But what we'll notice is that G always has this relationship as far as distance from the note E, and that it's always going to be what are called 1, 2, 3, or 4, rather, open, 1, 2, 3, 4, half steps away, or you can even think of it just as 4 frets. So if we count the nut as 0, 1, 2, 3, all right, right there. So it's always that distance. So if we have E, G, E, G, E, G, E, G. So that's how we're going to learn where the G's are, just in relation to E. So E, G, it's on the 3rd fret, okay? Then we have E, G, and that's a little bit harder to reach, so I'm not too worried about getting that one down, okay? Then we have, on our 7th fret, E, G, okay? So notice now your G is right here at 10, so now let's go to the 2nd fret where E is, right? E, now G's at 5 on the D string. Now if we go to E right here on the 9th fret, we have G here on the 12th. And that makes sense because if this open string is G, then that note there, 12 frets higher, that's your octave, that's G as well. So we have E, G, 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 E, G. So that's where all the E's and G's are. And the last thing I'm going to show you is what would be called position 1 for your G major pentatonic scale. Now this is kind of learning a scale in a box. We started learning the scale, at least 2 notes of them, all over the neck. In this one, all the notes kind of sit in one little area. So it's pretty convenient, and it fits to your hand. We look at where everything is on the neck so we understand our instrument more, but this is going to be a way more convenient way of just playing notes. So for our G major pentatonic scale, we start with G here, and that's going to be on the 3rd fret, low E string. Then we take our pinky, and that's going to be a reach. It took me a long time to get that movement down, all right? But that goes to A on the 5th fret of the low E string. Then we go G, A, right there. That's B, so G, A, B. Then we jump up to D, all right, to E. So G, A, B, D, E. And you see there's 5 notes. Now the cool thing is, what ends up happening is, with the guitar you end up playing a scale, but you just play 2 octaves of it. So even though we have all 5 notes for our pentatonic scale, what we do is we keep going and we play an octave higher. So we have G, A, B, D, E, and then we start back over G, A, B, D, E. And if we want, we can finish off with another G and another A right there. So we have and now it sounds kind of clunky, it's played slowly like that, but that's where you get licks like all right. play that scale one more time just so we can kind of review that. All right, take a look.